Welcome, everyone, to Urban Healers Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Naylor-Lillard, and one of the mental health therapist associates at Urban Healing Counseling. Urban Healers Podcast and Urban Healing Counseling was founded by our CEO, Janaea Sattler, who cultivates an environment where asking for help is our greatest strength. Today, we have a guest, and I'm excited. His name is Jaquain Leycock, and he is a licensed clinical social worker associate, and he's also with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. He has come to join us today to talk about mental health and the barriers that men face when seeking therapy. Without further ado, I'm introducing Jaquain. Jaquain, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for having me.
So, Jaquain, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a brief background. And then we're going to jump right into the barriers that men face when seeking therapy.
Okay. Well, I have been in the helping profession for about 15 years, but in the last 8, I've worked in different correctional settings. I've worked with men in reentry. I've worked with men with mental illness in a prison setting. So I've tried to help and cultivate people's, insight into who they are so that they can live the lives they deserve to live.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure you see an array of symptomology and issues with the individuals that you come into contact with every day.
Yes. A multitude of different things, but specifically with men, I think the biggest thing that holds them back from seeking therapy is the stigma and, the roles, the narratives that we tell ourselves.
And so what are some of those common narratives?
Well, as men, there's a common narrative of self-reliance, and, many men feel pressure to handle their problems independently and are very hesitant to ask for assistance. It's this feeling of weakness, or I can't handle things on my own. They fear judgment and the concerns of family and friends. They don't want to let people down. So they feel they have to shoulder all that burden themselves, which ultimately leads to them cracking and, feeling alone.
And what do you think that we can do in our field to reach out and maybe try and connect some of these individuals with, mental health services?
I think the biggest thing we can do is try to be authentic and open and honest ourselves. A lot of people feel, men and women feel like, they're the only ones that have these issues. And I think when people are open to their own struggles, it kind of creates the understanding that, hey, other people have problems too, and maybe someone has a similar problem. And through that opens up the lines of communication.
Wow, you bring up a great point. We as therapists are often challenged with how much authenticity we should bring in the room when treating, our patients, our clients. And so how do we keep them connected and keep them wanting to come back to seek services with the type of authenticity that you're talking about?
See, that's the thing. And I guess it's different for each clinician, but I truly believe that there should be, when appropriate, obviously, disclosure. I think that when we keep too much of ourselves, it creates the perception that we are without fault. And a lot of people will project onto us that we have this authority or this domain that means we too are not people as clinicians that have struggles and have had real life experiences. So when appropriate and when you can bring something in that's relatable, I think it's healthy and beneficial for others to learn from our experiences.
Wow, that is exactly a wonderful observation and great information. Jaquain, we have just enjoyed having you stop by and give us such wise words of wisdom and wonderful information. At the end, for our listeners, we will have a transcript of this broadcast. And we will have links for you to connect with Jaquain Leycock, because he's doing so much amazing work, not only in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, but also in the community. Thanks again, Jaquain, for stopping by to speak with us. We look forward to doing many more podcasts with you.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.